And once again, the sounder, which reminds you always that the people who are very successful in life usually please pay attention. They're people who actually take time to be very, very consistent in paying attention. That's what makes it happen. And these are interesting ideas. My name is Stan Houston. We try and come your way with 12 to 15 minutes, sometimes less, sometimes a little bit more. As we did yesterday on our New Year's program, we think we're in about 20 minutes, almost exactly. But generally, we want to realize that you are busy, and hopefully 10 to 12, maybe 15 minutes, always under 20, whenever we can, of wisdom would be helpful to you, or at least just a little bit of inspiration, maybe some encouragement, maybe just a technical technique or tip that can help you in life or business. So I thank you for doing that. And yes, you saw the title, and the title is correct. Yes, you should seek to have POS, and it's not what you might think. But it's something that might be very, very helpful to you. I know it would be very, very helpful for me. So if you'll give me a little bit of time on this turbulent Thursday, we will see if we can have a little POS. I'm Stan Houston. The program, it begins right now. Well, we are well into just about the second week of October in 2022. Now, we're going to have a special program coming up because guess what? I know what I was doing in October 60 years ago. That's right. I was worried. Yes, very worried, because the United States and Russia were on the verge of a world war, a nuclear war. I don't know if many of you remember that. Obviously, most of you don't. It was long before your time. But history does repeat itself. We are in danger. Putin has said that if things go poorly for him, he's more than ready to use the nuclear option. And that, of course, could lead to World War III on a global scale, and it could be the end of humanity as we know it. And that actually was one of the discussions we were having 60 years ago. It was called the Cuban Missile Crisis. And I have a dear friend who was involved very, very much in that situation. Has a long story of business achievements and accomplishments, but he began his career as a lieutenant in the United States Army, and he was involved in perhaps, as he says to me, we came within 48 hours of the end of humanity. Well, that's a program coming up on interesting ideas, so I hope that you will stay tuned. That'll be a special program. That'll probably go on about an hour, hour and a half. Maybe we'll follow it up with some questions, and you don't miss it. It's quite a story. So that's just something that's coming up, and something perhaps we can learn from. As you will find that he then has some suggestions how wise John Kennedy was in just how he made that work out. And perhaps he and a man called Khrushchev, because they played it smart, perhaps we did save humanity for a long, long time. So that's a part of the deal. Now, we are, of course, starting a new year. As I say, I get a start on that. I start the new year now with the usual Jewish holiday, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur celebration. We went through that, and now I'm ready with new intentions and new opportunities to get the new year off to a new start. Now, as we start the first day of the new year, I wanted to just have a little fold over from the theme that we had through the days of awe. And that is to actually talk about, for at least 10 days, and particularly, yesterday, millions of people around the world took time to think about the eternal, about God, about their place in the purposes and plans of God. And that's a good thing to do. That's to think about the big questions, not the small stuff. And that's what they do. And they'll go through a day, yes, they did, of fasting and prayer, and then of a celebration with family and good friends. What I wanted to point out is it actually turns out that one of the smallest books in the Christian scriptures has a wonderful letter, a wonderful way of describing what we should seek for our friends. What we should seek for our friends. Now, this is what I want you to think about seeking for your friends. Share this wish with them. And if you perhaps share it with your friends, if you seek it for your friends, maybe it'll come true to you. So let me just take a few words, and it actually is a book called 3 John. And a gentleman named Eugene Peterson, a longtime pastor, put it all together in what he called The Message, which was a very modern and contemporary. He didn't even call it a translation. He said it basically was a modern paraphrase of what the book was about from the way he saw it. And here's what the writer says. To my good friend Gaius, how truly I love you. We're the best of friends, and I pray for good fortune in everything you do, and for your good health, that your everyday affairs prosper, as well as your soul. I was most happy when some friends arrived and brought the news that you persist in following the way of truth. Nothing could make me happier than getting reports that my friends, my children, are continually and diligently always seeking the way of truth. That expression, I wish you prosperity for your soul. Well, there we are. The prosperity of our soul. Yeah, POS, prosperity of the soul. Certainly, it's right and good to wish prosperity for our affairs and for the things we do and the efforts we put into them. However, always keep in mind there's another lesson that someone helped me to better understand as I went through the days of awe. And from an old book, there was this little inscription that struck me. Please keep in mind that there is much to gain in losing. Please remember that in your desire to always be winning, there is much to gain in losing. In fact, losing is the key to winning. You will have to lose much if you want to win. It is only in living and dealing and thriving and perhaps even being grateful for the losing It is only in losing that you can eventually be winning. That's a little bit of the idea that as we're going through incredibly difficult times, that what we're seeking is just that, the prosperity of our soul. May I encourage you to think about that POS, and what would that feel like? What would that experience be? What could you do? What would prosperity of your soul feel like, be like? And what could you do? Well, there we go. Then actually the letter goes on to something we'll talk about tomorrow. Dear friend, extend hospitality. Dear friend, be sure to extend hospitality. Think about that. And actually, we'll have a little radio video program about some wonderful ideas, because one of your intentions should be to be a CHO in your life and business. Remember, POS, prosperity of the soul, and also remember to extend hospitality. Just 10 minutes of clarity, perhaps, about what we should be about in the year before us. I'm Stan Houston. We'll be right back. Thank you very much. I would appreciate hearing from you. And if some of this is helpful to you, you can say, Stan, I'd like to help you. And we are grateful. There is a part of our work which just simply allows people to make donations to our Christian Entrepreneur Network. And so if you'd like to do that, I would be grateful for helping us out. I don't make any money from that, but it helps me help others. And so if you'd like to say thank you, or if you'd like to help me continue to do this, I would be grateful. If you would perhaps reach out to me at stanhouston@gmail.com, stanhouston@gmail.com, and I can at least provide a way for you to do that. I would be grateful for that. But the point is now, if there's any way I can be helpful to you, first of all, this year, make a point, you're going to learn how to express yourself, find your audience, and be able to become a master of self-expression. You're going to learn how to use the media and the various ways of reaching your audience and doing it in a powerful, almost world-class way. And so if you reach out to me at stanhouston@gmail.com, I'll refer you to witradio.net. Witradio.net, that's What It Takes Radio. Wisdom, insight, and truth. Wit, What It Takes Radio. And we would be glad to help you and your company become, first of all, people who not only have prosperity, but perhaps even a little bit of prosperity of the soul, and perhaps even a way for you to learn some of the art of business hospitality. Take care. All the best and blessings. Until next time, bye for now.
'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free.